Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Update Show, Week 14. Break down tonight's game and what's going on with it right now and what has gone on with it. And we'll talk about it too. I'll give my insights of what I feel is going to happen tonight and what has happened. But first, here is tonight's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 14 trivia question. And it's a Minnesota Vikings trivia question. How many touchdowns did Dante Culpepper have total in the 2002 season? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, it's Thursday Night Football, Week 14. The Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers are battling it out right now at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off a 29-27 loss at the hands of the no longer winless Detroit Lions. The Vikings are hoping to bounce back with a win over the Steelers tonight and get their record to 6-7. And it looks like the fourth quarter just getting underway. And the Vikings have been dominating this game, 29-7 right now. They are up on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's second and goal at Minnesota. And so, it's 15 minutes to go, and it's going to be just getting underway. The Minnesota Vikings wish they were hiding under a rock. They arguably played their worst game of the season and lost to the Detroit Lions, who are now no longer winless. The Vikings dropped to 5-7 and fell down out of the playoff contention for now. Minnesota Vikings star running back Dalvin Cook is active for tonight's and will play in tonight's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight, just 11 days after dislocating his left shoulder. And ESPN's Adam Schefter reports with a shoulder harness. He will play with a shoulder harness on, just as he did against the Saints in January 2020 in a January 2020 wildcard game. In which he had 31 touches and 431 yards and 2 touchdowns with the harness. Expectations are that Cook will maintain his regular workload. Cook intentionally was expected to miss at least 2 games, according to ESPN and multiple media outlets, after injuring his shoulder last month against the 49ers. Cook, now 26, has rushed for 773 yards and 4 touchdowns in 9 games this season, and also has 27 receptions. He is the NFL's 7th leading rusher, despite missing 3 games this season, and is 4th in the league in average rushing yards per game at 85.9. And right now, it looks like the Minnesota Vikings are going to get the win. I've taken Minnesota. I don't know who my brother-in-law, Eric Whaley, has taken for tonight's game. He hasn't told me, so I can't tell you yet. But I have taken the Minnesota Vikings. And it's third and goal at Minnesota, still with 15 minutes to go. They're just getting underway. Meanwhile, the Steelers, excuse me for just a moment. Meanwhile, the Steelers are coming off a 20-19 win over the Baltimore Ravens at home last week, and the Steelers are hoping to make it 2 in a row with a win over the Vikings tonight to get their record to 7-5-1. And the Steelers have not looked good in this game so far tonight through 3 quarters, now with 14:55 left to go. And it's first and goal at the Minnesota 1. So we'll the Steelers have the ball. And right now I'm going to recap the first 3 quarters. In the first quarter, Kirk Cousins pass short to Jefferson for the 14-yard touchdown, and Greg Joseph's field goal is no good, and it was 6-0. In the second quarter, the Steelers went 3 and out and had to punt, and then Greg Joseph kicked a 38-yard field goal. It was 9-0, and then the Vikings scored a touchdown, and it was Brando reported as ineligible. D. Cook right in for the 29-yard touchdown. Greg Joseph's extra point is good. It was 16-0 Vikings. Then the Vikings got the ball back again after the Steelers had an interception. And Dalvin Cook right in for the 7-yard touchdown. Joseph's extra point is good. It was 23-0 at the half. And then Greg Joseph kicked another 42-yard field goal because the Ravens couldn't get in the end zone. It was 26-0 in the third. And they tried to get in the end zone again and still couldn't do it because the Steelers had to go 3 and out had to punt after going 3 and out. It was 29-0. And then Ben Roethlisberger's pass short left to Nate Harris for a 3-yard touchdown. Boswell's extra point is good. It was 29-7. And just now, Nate Harris left guard for a 1-yard touchdown. Chris Boswell's extra point is good, and it's now 29-14. Minnesota, and Pittsburgh's going to kick off, and that's where we stand right now. And we'll talk more about this game in just a moment, but right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Week 14 trivia question. It's a Minnesota Vikings trivia question. How many touchdowns did Dante Culpepper have total in the 2002 season? And if you said 28, you are correct. He had 18 throwing and 10 rushing. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And so now getting back to tonight's game against between the Vikings and Steelers, there's 14-49. Pittsburgh's about to kick off, and Minnesota will have the ball. And I feel the Minnesota Vikings are going to get their win in this game tonight. But Steelers are starting to make their moves, so anything can happen. So we will have to just wait and see. We'll see what happens, and so we'll have to wait and see. And so we'll see if Minnesota can hold on and get the victory in this game tonight. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 14 NFL Update Show. I'll be back with the post-game show once the game between the Vikings and Steelers has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.